Data access using ADO.NET. ADO.NET is an object-oriented framework that allows you to interact with database systems. We usually interact with database systems through SQL queries or stored procedures. The best thing about ADO.NET is that it is extremely flexible and efficient. ADO.NET also introduced the concept of a disconnected data architecture. In traditional data access components, you made a connection to the database system and then interact with it through SQL queries using the connection. The application stays connected to the database system even when it is not using database services. This commonly wastes valuable and expensive database resources, as most of the time applications only query and view the persistent data. ADO.NET solves this problem by managing a local buffer of persistence data called a data set. Your application automatically connects to the database server when it needs to run a query and then disconnects immediately after getting the results back and storing it in the data set. This design of ADO.NET is called a disconnected data architecture and is very much similar to the connectionless services of HTTP on the internet. It should be noted that ADO.NET also provides connection-oriented traditional data access services. Another important aspect of disconnected architecture is that it maintains a local repository of data in the dataset object. The dataset object stores the tables, their relationship, and their different constraints. The user can perform operations like update, insert, delete on this database locally, and the changes made to the dataset are applied to the actual database as a batch between needed. This greatly reduces network traffic and results in better performance. Different components of ADO.NET. Class dataset. The dataset is a local buffer of tables or a collection of disconnected record sets. Data table. A data table is used to contain data in tabular form using rows and columns. Data row represents a single record or row in a data table. Data column represents a column or field of a data table. Data relation represents the relationship between different tables in a data set. Constraint represents the constraint or limitations that apply to a particular field or column. ADO.NET also constrains some database-specific classes. This means that different database system providers may provide classes optimized for their particular database system. Microsoft itself has provided the specialized and optimized classes for the SQL Server database system. The name of these classes start with SQL and are contained in the system.data.sql client namespace. Accessing data using ADO.NET. Data access using ADO.NET involves in following steps: defining the connection string for the database server, defining the connection to the database using the connection string, defining the command or command string that contains the query, defining the data adapter using the command string and the connection object, creating a new dataset object. If the command is select, fill in the dataset object with the result of the query through the data adapter, reading the records from the data tables in the dataset using the data row and data column objects. If the command is update, insert, or delete, then updating the dataset through the data adapter, accepting to save the changes in the dataset to the database. Hope you enjoyed our video clips. Thank you.